Anyway. So, obviously, the format, as you can tell, has changed. Now, wrestling is still a part of the Indy Force. That's always going to be the case, regardless. However,
well, James gets sick of it.
Yeah, this is where, and I'm going to tell a story here, and I told this to Mike, but I figured I'd just share it on here. I was doing a paper, and...
Oh my god, that's a great story.
Thanks. No, I'm not even finished yet. I do the paper, and the paper is for American culture, and it basically asks, what's your biggest fandom? Everybody knows, if you ask me, it's fucking wrestling. And I thought, okay, well, that should be easy. That was my first thought. And then my second thought went to, oh, God, I have to fucking talk about wrestling again. Again. And by the time, 2 hours happened, I just kind of winged it and used the fucking dictate audio thing to wrote my paper, and sent it in 3 minutes before the time. So that should tell you how sick I am of just talking about wrestling. Doesn't mean we won't talk about wrestling, but I want to talk about it.
Now, when you were talking about wrestling, were you talking about just wrestling as in professional wrestling, or more
professional?
Okay,
wrestling,
that's
the entertainment. Good. It comes down to how the fandom works. But I've done a paper on that before. Mike can attest to this. I've done probably every variation for a paper of professional wrestling you can imagine.
You even did a skit on YouTube.
I've done a skit on YouTube. I've done everything wrestling, and it's just at some point, just shit needs to. I need to get other interests.
No, James. I can get where you're coming from. It's at a certain point when you have a fandom, you're just tired of talking about it. You're just so fucking sick of talking about that one specific thing.
Right.
That, let's be honest, is a very niche thing to talk about to begin with. It's such a conversation killer.
Right. I would be okay, because we can, I would love to talk about wrestling if it's
let me give an example
that we enjoy, but I feel like I'm always covering legitimately everything, and it's just fucking annoying, and at some points it's just toxic.
Agreed.
And I just
the problem does come in is where that community is very fucking, it's one-sided when it comes to what it wants sometimes.
And
in other words, cancerous.
Yeah, and it really shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be, because you look at wrestlers like Omega, who's fan of anime, fan of freaking video games and all this other shit, and then you got these, it's just wrestling with them, and it's do you have any other fucking interests? And then I look at Owen and I realize he has all these other interests, and I'm like, I need to get some fucking hobbies. Because he watches Breaking Bad and fucking... Dude, his most popular videos aren't even fucking wrestling, for fuck's sake. They're SpongeBob reviews.
Yeah.
So
But regardless, that's on his second channel.
Yes, but still. They're still his most popular videos. So it's I need hobbies, man. I need other shit to talk about. And
my first video on YouTube was a review on an old Western movie, and I still haven't done any reviews for other movies. I could start doing that again.
Yeah.
Well, do it on stuff that you're interested in. Don't be listen, I'm going to say it like this, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for it in the comment section, or maybe somebody out there just doesn't give a fuck. Don't be a Doug Walker. Don't just be oh, I'm going to be the nostalgia guy. I'm going to cover old movies, the old bad movies. And then it goes, I'm covering nowadays movies that just came out three months ago, and that's what I'm going to cover.
Yep, and enjoy the copyright hassle. Anyway.
Have fun with this for it's the fucking most boring thing in the world.
Yeah.
Now, as said, we are going to still talk about wrestling. In fact, our first topic is wrestling related. We will get to that. But before we even get to that, and I forgot to actually put this in the Word document of topics that we have, Mike, Casey, and I kind of discovered something a few days ago. For Mike, it's been 13 years since he made his first YouTube video, and for me, it's been 12 years, and for Casey, who was not here, press F in the chat, it's been 12 years as well. So we're between 12 to 13 years on this platform, which is fucking nuts to think about.
That's impressive.
That's fucking
Congratulations
insane.
to you both.
So I just wanted to point that out there. So, you know, if you guys want to stroke our egos, go for it. I don't care. That being said, now we'll move on to the topics. And we'll talk about this Mania shit. And, man, I don't even know where the fuck to start.
Well, let's just start off with the more mediocre matches and some good ones, and then work our way up to the ones that.
If you want to get the card up, if you want to get the card up while I talk about the whole thing as a whole, go for it.
Yeah, that would be better. Just get the card up. We can just review or talk about each of them.
And keep in mind, Nikos probably watched more of it than I did, than either of us did. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't watch WrestleMania.
Highlights. I didn't watch every single match, but there are some matches that doesn't even deserve highlights.
Yeah.
Because thumbnails, you know?
WrestleMania 36, Wikipedia. We'll just look up the wiki. I'm not going to screen share just to avoid the, because there's only 3 of us. I don't want one of us to like be moved around or anything. So
who gives a shit, to be 100% honest?
Yeah.
And something I just thought of or remembered about WrestleMania 36. You remember the conversation? I think Mike talked about this. What WrestleMania should have been.
Yeah,
I remember actually.
It should have been a 2-night event like Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, well, they did a 2-night event actually,
and it was bad.
Yeah. Despite that fact of having no crowd,
and I've said this 100 times over. It really all comes down to the wrestlers making shit turning it into gold. Vince doesn't give a fuck. He's in it for the money. I've said this 100 times. I'll say it probably 100 more. This dude couldn't give a single shit. Like, we have proven with our show that it does not matter how long your fucking show is. As long as you can justify it with the fucking quality, it doesn't matter how long it is. It could be a 4-hour show. It could be an 8-hour show. It could be a 2-night event. If you can justify your the quality of your program with the quantity that you have, people will rave about it and will talk good about it. And there will be very few complaints.
Agreed.
This is not that.
Second.
This is not that. And there are a lot more things than just this whole bullshit with... There's a lot more wrong with this than just the actual quality of the 2 nights, but we're going to get into it, obviously. We're just going to go match by match. I know we didn't watch all the matches. Here's one match that did catch my eye, which I wish I kind of watched. It was the Cesaro versus Drew Gulak match. I actually kind of want to see it. I don't know how good it was. Even if it wasn't an empty arena, I kind of want to see it.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, the moment you see Cesaro, you get what you get.
I hate the fact... I just hate what they've done with Cesaro. I hate the fact that...
You're not the only one that agrees with that.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, the only reason why Drew Gulak is even in Mania at all, period, even on a pre-show, is because he's paired up with Daniel Bryan. And
yeah,
it's shameful. It's shameful that you can't, build these guys up to be more important than they are. It's like they completely lost all passion to create stars. Like they say they create stars, which you shouldn't create them. You should just let stars be themselves. But they can't even do that right. It's more the guys having to come up with a whole new gimmick and get that over, and then when they get over, then they're like, no, we got to create your character. Because nobody could be more over than the brand. But I digress. Fucking Alexa and Nikki beat the Kabuki Warriors. Everybody saw that coming. And it's fucking stupid. I hope Asuka and Kairi Sane leave for AEW.
The only pirate themed that they actually advertised was, I think it was, who was wearing the pirate outfit?
Kairi Sane, probably.
Yeah. The only pirate theme that got off this WrestleMania.
Yeah. And
what about Paul Burchill?
We'll get to the whole reason why this event never should have taken place, like at least right now in the first place.
By the way, how many of these fucking pirate gimmicks is Vince McMahon gonna do? He already did Chuck Palumbo, for fuck's sake.
No, it wasn't Chuck Palumbo. You're thinking of Paul Burchill.
It is Paul Burchill. Okay, let's get those two mixed up because they're both equivalently as relevant.
Well, first off, it wasn't even his gimmick. That was Kairi Sane's gimmick. But if you follow Kairi Sane's career, it actually works. But of course, because she got over on her own, doesn't count. Anyway, I digress. Elias, King Corbin, nobody gives a shit. Becky Lynch defeated Shayna Baszler. Everyone was raving about this shit. I saw this coming a mile away. The minute she was called up to the main roster, I knew she was not going to go over Vince's guys.
Yeah, it was pointless, that match. I mean, this is the same Shayna Baszler that took out every single female in the elimination by herself.
Yeah, and the stupidest thing about it is, so now not only have you buried your entire Raw Women's division, but now you buried Shayna Baszler, who beat the rest of the Raw Women's division, which means Becky Lynch is now better than Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, and Shayna Baszler, and Shayna Baszler is better than everybody else. What the fuck does that tell you?
By the way, how did Becky get such a fucking huge push in such a short period of time?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know what's their obsession with Becky at this point.
I'll tell you what happened. Not that I hate Becky for it anyway.
She's a good athlete. I'm not going to shit over Becky Lynch. I'm just asking the question. So how in the blue fuck did she get as popular as she did?
So basically what happened was, and this shows how tone deaf WWE is, and this is why I just stopped watching, period, on the main roster. She lost at SummerSlam in a triple threat match. I think Carmella was the champion at the time. Ugh. And Charlotte was in the triple threat match. Charlotte ended up pretty much backstabbing Becky, even though it was every woman for herself anyway. But it was the story of her friend backstabbed her and took the glory for herself. And Charlotte doesn't need any more championship wins. And so Becky turned on her, the goal being that she was going to be a big heel. But the crowd cheered her immensely. Then she developed a man persona, and the persona caught on like wildfire. And then the main reason she got even more popular was she was going to fight Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. But then Nia Jax accidentally punched her because she doesn't know how to fucking work and broke her nose. And you just get this iconic shot of the man, like, after, with the whole SmackDown invasion of Raw and doing this shit with blood dripping down her face and everything. It was very reminiscent of, like, Austin. People compared her to Austin, like, straight away with the WrestleMania 13. That's why she got as popular as she did. The problem is her popularity's waned already, and this title run realistically probably should have ended at SummerSlam of last year.
Agreed.
So the title run's gone too long, is what happened. So she's really not that popular anymore. It's just that they don't know how to make stars instead of letting them get organically over like Becky Lynch got over. So now everybody is just kind of buried and nobody gives a shit about the women's division. But that's because nobody gives a shit about the main roster, so everybody's buried. And again, we'll get to that. Clearly, it's not about the athletes anyway. It's about Vince and his fucking insurance money. Sami Zayn versus Cesaro, with Cesaro and Shinsuke versus Daniel Bryan, who was with Drew Gulak. Nobody cares. Does anybody really give a shit? I'm sure it was a great match, but this should have been in front of a crowd. They had... See, okay. So now we get to reasons why this event should have happened. Shouldn't have happened. At least right now. They should have postponed this shit till June. John Morrison defeated Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston in a triple threat ladder match. I heard that this was the best match at night one.
It was good. I mean, it was some good spots.
And I'm not counting the Boneyard match because that doesn't fucking count, and I'll get to why it doesn't count. So this was by default the best match on the show, or at least on night one. Here's the problem. It was for the tag team titles.
Yes. But it's made as a triple threat.
It was a triple threat with 3 singles wrestlers who were fighting for the tag team titles because The Miz ended up lying that he was sick.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah. And
would you?
Isn't there like
yes.
one of the wrestlers who are confirmed?
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't blame The Miz. I blame WWE for their fucking incompetence. I'll get to it. I blame Vince specifically. This never should have taken place. This is one of the reasons why this event never should have taken place in the first place. You know Roman is close with the Usos. You know if they get it, he's susceptible to get it if Miz has Corona. And he's going to be fucked. Because he has a weakened immune system because of his fucking leukemia.
Yes.
Whoever thought that this was smart to even have this event in the first place needs to be fucking arrested. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like, this was just pure incompetence.
It's just stupid negligence. That's all it is.
It is
being dumb.
And we're not even and not just negligence in a health way. There's a lot of other reasons why it's negligent, and we're gonna get to it. But I'm gonna be very quick about the rest of this card. Kevin Owens defeated Seth Rollins. No shit. Everybody called that from a mile of fucking way.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman took Roman Reigns' place to beat Goldberg and finally win the Universal title, and no one could care.
I had problems with this match, and the same thing for the main event. Where
that it was a short finisher.
They were just spamming finishers, is what Wrestling with Regret.
Listen, they all hit the Y button, and that was it. That was the whole match.
That was it.
They built up 3 finishers, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, well, 4 actually.
These kind of matches need to fucking die a death. And then
the problem with it too, and here's like one of my major issues with this. That type of wrestling is 1980s Hulk Hogan era.
Yes.
Shit that you could get away with.
That's the
not
problem.
Nowadays.
No, not even close.
A finisher should be a finisher. Like, this move's hit, it's the end of the match, not I hit you with my signature, comeback, signature, finisher. I'm gonna check your meter and see if your fucking your health's in red. Keep hitting finishers, keep hitting signatures, and then that's the end of the match.
And here's the other thing too. The only reason they're doing that match that style is because Goldberg can't keep up with Braun Strowman on his good day. So that's the only reason, because he's fucking old.
The man's old.
So, and here's another thing. I want to point this out.
He just wants to work on his motorcycles.
Here's the dumbest thing that pissed me the fuck off. And you know what? This is where I say, Goldberg, fuck yourself. Get fucking blackballed, kid. Never come back to wrestling again. This dude literally buried Bray Wyatt in Saudi Arabia just to have this match at Mania. And then he was going to fuck off. Because for whatever reason, he thought that he needed to be the superhero for the kids. And even though Roman would have been that superhero regardless for those kids, if he was the one to beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
But hey, at least finally Braun got the championship, even though he should have won it 2 years ago.
Who could possibly care that he has a Universal Championship now? They have completely destroyed his credibility.
I'm sorry, they completely destroyed the credibility of the title first, then him.
Yeah.
That fucking title means nothing.
Dude, the fact that, and this is straight up the fact, I don't care what anybody wants to tell me, all the titles there are props.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. Braun Strowman, the person, when he made those tweets out, it's almost like, defend our company and we'll reward you. And
yeah, pretty much.
Even though it was an asinine comments, he got rewarded for it because nobody else was defending WWE on their because they think that this shit is just flat out wrong.
Mm.
And I guarantee you,
and
everybody other than Braun Strowman thinks that having WrestleMania at all around this time was wrong. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
So, Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a Boneyard match. I watch clips of this shit. I don't care.
I thought it was good cinematically.
It's good
cinematically, but the problem is that you could tell that it's not a do or die situation. It's not in the ring. It's not both of them at their peak and their prime going at it one-on-one. It's video and scheduled. If I wanted to watch a video scheduled thing, I'd watch broken Matt Hardy do everything that he's doing on AEW right now.
Yeah, and the thing about that is the reason Matt was doing it, and you could even tell when Matt was doing it, it was a lot of that was one take. You could tell the amount, dude. It felt like watching a movie. I'm sorry. We're nerds. We like the Avengers Endgame. But when we're watching wrestling, we're not trying to watch an Avengers Endgame and a piss poor version of that, mind you. We're trying to watch wrestling. And not to mention the fact that literally they had to call this a Boneyard match because it was really a Buried Alive match with a different name.
It takes place in the
cemetery. It was a Buried Alive match, but not in the arena.
Yeah, exactly.
What it was.
And plus, they try to make it feel like this was a real match and that Undertaker wasn't fighting AJ Styles. It was Mark Calloway fighting Alan Jones. Like, they were really trying to get real with each other.
I'm sick. I'm sick of this shit.
Listen, if you want to have Mean Mark Calloway come back, fucking go back in time and grab Sid Vicious.
Bro, I'm gonna be straight up here. If you're going to do this kayfabe breaking bullshit, you might as well just adopt everything from the fucking UFC. Straight up.
Yeah.
Because I'm dead ass getting sick. If I'm going to watch wrestling, immerse me in your fucking reality. Don't fucking take me out of the reality by bringing in the guys' real names. It's fucking stupid and it gets no one over. It gets no one over.
It almost felt like they were play fighting. I mean, they were just going at each other like, hey, come on, do this.
That's exactly what it was. It was fucking play fighting. Just from the clips that I saw, the stupid Undertaker raising up and then AJ having to turn his head slow. It was so...
It was a birth of a new meme right there.
It was phony as shit. And no one's going to remember this other than the small amount of memes that are going to come about it. And then I have to see these fans fucking defending this shit.
It didn't really need to happen, to be honest.
None of this needed to happen. And that's where I'm saying, like, none of this needed to happen the way it happened.
And here's what's worse. The build for this was AJ Styles basically targeting Michelle McCool, who was married to Mark.
No. What build? Let me put it like this. And I'm going to give an example, and it's a really good one. Would Shawn Michaels going back in time and attacking The Undertaker at his home, giving away his name, Mean Mark Calloway, away to everybody else, make that feud even better? Or is it fine to keep everything in what happens in this arena is what happens in this arena? That's how this thing goes.
Yep. That's true.
They don't understand that because Vince McMahon thinks, well, you see the internet. It's a source. I mean, all these kids, Suplex King, memes. We got to create more memes. It's like literally, what it's the equivalent of? Do you guys remember the fight in Metal Gear Rising Revengeance against fucking Armstrong? Where he goes, it's our memes, Jack. Our memes are what makes us.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there going...
That's what it feels like. It's like they're just trying to be a meme now.
Dumb shit, and then they did it in real life.
Like, they could give two shits less unless... Like, they don't even take their own product seriously to a level of seriousness. Like, really AEW has some goofy shit, but at least they take their goofy shit seriously. Oh my god! Like,
this was just a goofy match. Like, Cinematically, it was okay, but overall, it didn't need to happen.
And then we get night 2, and night 2 is even worse, by the way, than night 1.
Well, actually, before we get to night 2, I just like how the fact that after it ends with the Boneyard match, it just cuts to like a teaser of Undertaker's like podcast, little documentary special on his match, or the last ride, as they call it.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I mean, to be honest, if you watch the Broken Skull session, you're fine.
It's upsetting when you can physically go and use this joke in professional wrestling. The Undertaker Part 22, The Quest for More Money.
It's true, though.
That's a fucking Spaceballs joke. Yep. That's a Spaceballs joke, and it works. Because that's all WWE does now is fucking, we're going to do this match. But we're going to do this match a year later, and it's going to be terrible. All right,
we're going to call it
Part 2, The Quest for More Money.
You want to know why the UFC is as fucking popular as it is right now? Is because they keep fucking shit fresh.
Well, it's because Dana White doesn't... Because Dana White has fucking been there, done that with every single angle, idea, story, whatever you want to call it. He's done it all, and he goes... Guys, the whole idea is to get in the ring and want to be the fucking best in the world. That's all you need.
And he also doesn't try to play God. And we'll get to that towards the end of this small review. All right, let's just get through night 2. We're just going to get through night 2 in, like, rapid fucking fire, except for, like, a few matches.
Yeah.
I'm going to get through the matches no one gives a single shit about, and then I'll get to the ones that we are going to talk about that
all of them. So all of them?
No. There's some. But for bad reasons, obviously. For bad reasons. Liv Morgan defeats Natalya on the pre-show. Who cares? Aleister Black obviously was going to beat Bobby Lashley. Who cares? Lana interfered. No one cares. Street Profits beat Angel Garza and apparently Austin Theory because Mysterio ended up actually getting diagnosed with Corona, and again, we'll get to that. We'll fucking get to that, because that means Andrade has it too. So Austin Theory had to fucking step in. Bayley defeated Evans, Naomi, Banks, and Tamina. No one cares. The Fiend beat John Cena in a Firefly Funhouse match that, again, was just play fighting. No one cared.
Can we just talk about that for a little bit? I'm just trying to understand. What's it about? Like that whole firehouse.
They're saying there's a deeper meaning to it, and when it really was just, hey, it's playing up John Cena insecurities, and it's supposed to be and that's what I heard about it. Which I didn't actually see the match, but that's exactly what I got from that.
They were reliving John Cena's career from the moment he first.
But it's him now.
I'm going to put this very, very bluntly so that everybody understands. If that is what they were doing, then that means Bray Wyatt, yet again,
has the power
not get a clean win against John Cena.
But wait, James, James, you're forgetting about the most important thing here. Bray Wyatt has the ability to show Cena alternate timelines.
I don't care.
This motherfucker has Thanos powers. Oh boy, Eye of Agamotto. He's got some Doctor Strange level bullshit now. Oh man, how is he not the greatest wrestler of all time then? How come he didn't go back in time and alert Husky Harris the fact that your career is gonna go literally nowhere?
Dude, it's bad.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm sure the Fiend was fine with it at this point, and he's just like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna
let be honest,
the fuck they want, because at least I'm getting a check and feeding my family. That's probably what he's thinking at this point.
Like in one of the scenes where I saw them,
Bray could not give a single shit about this match.
Yeah. I mean, like, for instance, there was this one moment where they're lifting weights, John Cena and Bray Wyatt. For a second, I thought it was a commercial. Like, they just went cut to commercial, but no, it's the actual match. I'm like...
Can I be honest, though? That would be radical to do on a show. where you think it's a commercial segment, but it's literally like things are still going on.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is a weird commercial or ad, and it's like,
it'd be it'd be one thing if they did that, but they didn't, and it's just like, again, it's more play fighting, and it just all it is Bray Wyatt had to use a fucking gimmick match and dirty tactics to get a win on John Cena again. So he was never gonna win clean. It was never gonna win clean. That's all that showed to me.
To be 100% honest, it isn't Cena's fault. I'm not going to fucking sit there and say it's his idea.
Anyway, we'll get to that. So we got through the matches no one cared about.
Yep.
Now we'll get to the matches that we do care about for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get to Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Now, in defense of WWE here, there's not much that they could have done. Rhea Ripley's visa was expiring, so there was no way. And by the way, she's still in Florida. She can't go back to Australia, so she's stuck there, and she can stay there because obviously there's nothing really that she could do, and they're not going to arrest her. But the minute she starts working without a visa, she's fucked. So she can't do that. So that's why they put the title on Charlotte Flair here. So there really wasn't much.
By the way, WWE, there is a thing that you can file for which keeps your employees for your company that are from overseas in your company. A little tiny company as well has done it, and they're called Rooster Teeth. The fact that a company that's been around for 11, 12, maybe 13 years has outsmarted you with work-related visas is fucking upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
gotta be an idiot.
Hey, we never said that Vince was smart. Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. This is the match I was looking forward to the most, and then I stopped giving a shit because it wasn't going to take place in front of a crowd. So it sucks. I'm at least happy that they gave that Cinderella story of Otis getting Mandy Rose, and they actually kissed. So that was cool. That was like the only thing that was.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of another WrestleMania moment. I can't put my.
Dude, all right. Let's chill on that. Literally everything has been done in wrestling. There's bound to be repeats of shit. This was different though because it was a very different story. And it was
I can
only
agree
good story on SmackDown, so I'll give them the benefit there. So good. It's the one good thing out of this fucking shit show.
Yeah.
That's like the one good thing. The one positive was that Otis was actually able to get the hot chick. God, this next match, Edge versus.
You mean Team Banana Slammer?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. You saw that image? Oh my God, that was the best, man.
That was the first joke I made. That was literally the first comment I put up, which was their Team Banana Slammer.
Dude, they should, man. That would be great.
Banana Slammer.
Oh, yeah, Tucky. I'm Banana Slammer.
Banana Slammer. Dude, that's a fucking Donkey Kong reference, by the way, from that
he
shitty
looks
TV
like
show.
Donkey Kong, bro. I love Otis, though. Otis is the best. I
like
love
Donkey
Otis.
Dong.
So, yeah. That being said... and by the way, are they dating for real? Because I feel like this was a way for them to date for real. I don't know if
showed her the banana
Mandy actually had a boyfriend, which would kind of be fucked up if she did. But
show them the Donkey Dong.
I don't know. I don't know if this was real or not. It'd be cool if it was, because that's a hell of a heartwarming story. But anyway, I digress from that.
Yeah.
So
now we get to this.
Edge versus Randy Orton.
Mm.
All right.
Can I say that I didn't care for this?
I mean,
this should have taken outside a stadium.
To be honest, I didn't even see it until the article popped up, and to be honest, at first, yeah, it was bad, but then the other side of me was like, it's been like, what, 13 years? I mean...
Right, well, here's the
just
thing.
Let go, but...
Well, no, here's the thing. I'd be all right with that. And I'm sure people that haven't actually gone through that, like, as bad as people have, would say that, and I understand that. But if you're like me, I went through that shit.
We all did, dude. anyone who was a fan of wrestling
tragic. So to be reminded of that in any way, it was the fact that it came out two weeks after the Vice documentary as well. It didn't help their case. But I'll get to that towards the end of this. There was no reason, first off, this should have gone 36 fucking minutes.
Oh,
That's
no.
way too goddamn long for a last man standing match.
Yeah.
Edge was choked. Essentially, I'll get straight to it now. Was choked with a Bowflex weight machine and a cord. If you know the story of Chris Benoit, that's how he hung himself. That's the spot they did. I don't think.
Congratulations, WWE. You have officially done a worse storyline than WCW.
Yeah.
It took you a long time, but it
didn't. No, it didn't. They did worse shit after that.
They have done worse, but when it comes to
this was the most
because of that.
Just recreating a wrestler's death like that, that's not cool.
Look.
That's fucked.
I don't think Edge. I want to get this out of the way now. I don't think Edge and Orton had any malicious intent, period, when doing this.
No.
Absolutely.
They had no malicious intent of doing this. That fucking said, reports have now come out that there were wrestlers that straight up went to editors, and editors went up to Kevin Dunn and Vince, straight up saying, you need to take this out because of the connotations. This is bad. This is just giving me bad vibes all around because of what it reminded me of. And Vince straight up said, I don't give a shit. We're keeping it in. Great. Awesome.
By the way, quick thing. The XFL is over. 2021 is dead.
Yeah, and they were doing well.
All right, you know what? I don't feel bad for Vince because I knew, I want to say I'm happy that it ended, but the way it ended actually kind of makes me feel dirty. And I feel more bad for the employees and the players that actually work there than anything else.
Agreed, but that's for all those situations.
I do think that they need another chance. I hate Vince. I hate saying anything. Vince McMahon deserves another fucking chance, but I think that XFL actually deserves another chance. Only if nothing else for the players that were working for that and the employees that were employed.
Anyway, Nikos, you were trying to say something.
I mean, yeah, it was fun while it lasted for the XFL. It seemed like they were really doing well, but on the account of what's been going on, I mean, I deserve that they could get like another push sometime in the future. I mean, I'm guessing this is like not the right time for them to even begin.
Well, no one could have predicted that this was gonna fucking hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe they were going to postpone it.
The Simpsons did, though.
The Simpsons did. Maybe we should just
Simpsons literally did.
Point.
So, in 1993, they literally predicted the coronavirus. So.
Anyway. I mean, Edge won. I'm glad he won. But at the end of the day, it's like...
It's a dirty victory.
All this bullshit.
You know how we've always talked about, James, like a dirty victory? This to me just doesn't feel like there's no clarity. Nobody fucking won here.
It doesn't do Edge good. Like this guy should have had a stadium.
This doesn't benefit anybody. This is one of those very dirty victories that doesn't feel good.
It kind of reminded me of that one last man standing match Edge was fighting John Cena at Backlash 2009. Right. To me, it felt like a dirty victory, and he even won that match as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, specifically because of the fact of, like, what the connotation from what they did in the match is about.
Yeah, they should have.
It's not like, it's like, oh, you won via dirty victory. This is like, I want to fucking take a shower after this.
Dude, if this was live, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Nobody can, like, do anything. Like, it's whatever.
But throughout the whole match, it was just
fun. But this was taped.
Yeah,
and this is where I blame the WWE and Vince specifically, because he straight up said he didn't give a shit to the people that voiced their concerns for that exact reason.
People that fucking worked with the man for how long? I'm sorry, how many people?
If you're a wrestler, Dave Meltzer said, if you're a wrestler, there's no way it didn't affect you.
Exactly.
New or old, it didn't matter. Like, they were affected some way or another. I was affected. Like, that shit was fucking haunting for me for the longest time.
And
that was a horrible time in my life.
What was worse than that spot was the god-awful commentary that followed.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the worst tone-deaf, droll commentary ever heard.
You know what's bad? You know what's bad? You know what's bad when fucking Tony Schiavone at his age can outdo you on commentary.
Yeah, but who are the commentary team during that match?
You mean the Batman fan, Tony Schiavone, the man, the myth, the legend?
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we get to the main event, or the two main events. There was two. We saw the last one, I guess, on Raw. I don't give a fuck. Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Drew McIntyre gets his win in a spam finisher match in front of no crowd. You guessed it.
Yeah.
And, he did not look pleased when he won the belt. I'm sure he would have actually cried if it was in front of people. And I'm sure this is not the way he wanted to do it. You could tell, too. Like, I saw clips of it. You could tell Drew didn't want to be there.
I don't think anybody wanted to be there, dude. Nobody wants to fucking work during this whole thing.
And
the things that they should be doing to get paid right now is signing autographs, meeting kids in hospitals that are sick, fucking going above and beyond instead of performing in the ring. They should be doing everything but that right now.
And here's the other problem. There was, I guess, a dark match that they aired on Raw. Drew McIntyre versus Big Show was the true main event, I guess. Big Show did an impromptu challenge. McIntyre accepted and won in a 15-minute match.
And nobody
cares. Yeah, no cares.
I'm just imagining what would happen if Lesnar retained.
I don't give a fuck. How about that? Like, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to go over people that have compromised immune systems that could be at risk even being in the arena. Roman Reigns, who was there during tapings, was one of them. Edge is another. Brock Lesnar is absolutely one because of his diverticulitis scare. Fuck. I mean, you have Otis there. I mean, not that I hate the guy, and I'm not shitting on him when I say this, but I'm sure he has a couple of health complications, despite how athletic he is. Like, there is too many things at risk here.
You mentioned earlier that Andrade has won.
Rey Mysterio has corona. It was already confirmed. Somebody said that he had corona. I don't know how. I know the Miz is sick as well. And then if Rey had any form of sickness, he had to be pulled.
Yes.
But they're saying it was corona, which means Andrade, who fought on Raw, now has corona because he was in contact with Rey Mysterio in the ring.
Dude, you shouldn't even be in the fucking ring if you have a cold.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be. I'm going to be 100% honest. The health of your athletes is like the most important thing in the world.
And here's the other thing. And here's the other thing. And this is where we're gonna end this. And by the way, this show's gonna go as long as we want to. By the way, we're not time limiting ourselves. Yeah. But I want to make this very fucking clear. With this show, it was a cash grab for Vince. He literally couldn't have given a single fuck about his athletes. It's not only negligent in the health aspect, but it's also financially negligent. Because now these wrestlers that wrestled on the show are going to get less pay than if you were to postpone it in June, where you had a pay-per-view opening.
Yeah.
And Florida kind of is big enough where they were able to stop right at the time that they needed for the curve to go down for the corona, which means that most likely around the end of June, it would have been okay to have it in Tampa Bay Stadium.
You're asking Vincent Kennedy fucking McMahon to postpone money.
Bro, I know. But if anybody wants to tell me that this man ain't fucking selfish, and that's the thing, and this is why I will never give it a chance.
This man has
all of those bad things that happened at Mania this year straight up could have been avoided. It legitimately could have been avoided if you'd have just postponed the fucking event till June.
I mean, his motto is like, money talks and money walks.
Yeah, and that's minute you focus all your attention on money, you're missing the entire point.
And the fact that he needs to have every WrestleMania be on April.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Listen, James and I have been talking about it for a long time. We're probably going to be shifting the date for Immortal after like the first year.
We might.
It makes more sense to have that big event during the summer.
Yeah.
It makes way more sense because more venues open up, more people are willing to fucking do things instead of this ridiculousness of we need to have it in April. It's a legacy. It's like, fuck that. Just move it. You're moving the date and pushing things closer together.
Yeah, basically.
This shit is fucked up. It's a fucked up situation that could have been avoided if he'd have just postponed the event. And now reports are going out that WWE wrestlers are vehemently upset at Vince McMahon and may even there are even talks of staging a strike.
Which they should.
Vince is forcing them to work at
I will be the first person who is. I'm the only one that's actually sat here and the only person that's in this thing that's actually been a part of a strike since I worked for a Stop and Shop a long time ago. Exactly. It's important. Having a strike is really important. Yes, you don't have your workers coming in and making money, but it's specifically for the people that are getting fucked over more than anything else. A strike is really important.
And here's the thing.
They should 100% strike against this bullshit. It's ridiculous.
And here's the other thing. And this is the big thing. The reason why they're even talking about having a strike is they're making them do live tapings, not taped. They're doing live tapings.
Oh, do tapings.
Just do tapings. First off, they're completely going against Florida Commission guidelines right now. And they're doing this shit. But their argument is they're not sports, they're entertainment. That's how they're going to get through the bullshit. Or at least they think. And I hope to God that they shut this down just for the sake of the fucking athletes. Because, I don't want any more wrestlers getting sick during this time.
Agreed.
Like, it was already enough with The Miz and Mysterio and Andrade. We don't need more. And I think two others that are unnamed got corona recently in the PC. This shit needs to end. This shit needs to fucking end. And it needs to end now. AEW did it right.
Yeah.
AEW is having a handful of guys on a day where they need to tape their fucking shows if this goes any longer. So they already taped a bunch of shit for the next 2 months. They didn't do live shows.
Mm-hmm.
Because WWE is insistent on doing live shows just so Vince McMahon can get his insurance money. It all goes back to the fucking insurance money because you don't give a fuck about your athletes. You don't give a fuck about the people that you fucking employ. And everybody wants to tell me that this guy cares? You're telling me after all the shit that he's ever done with Bret Hart, with Kurt Angle, with fucking CM Punk, you're telling me right now, especially now, that this man gives a fuck about any of his fucking wrestlers? Fuck out of here. You want to tell me that, oh, the show must go on. My fucking ass it has to go on. My ass it has to go on. You easily could have postponed this shit in June. And the fact that you fucking didn't, and the fact that you fucking put your wrestlers at fucking risk. People that kids and fucking other people look up to. You put them in this fucking position. Vince, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. You'll never will be because all you give a fuck is your goddamn insurance check. Fuck you. As I said, and I'll say it again, I've said it 100 times already on Owen's fucking channel. The minute you fucking pass away, I will go to Stanford and piss on your fucking gravestone.
He's gonna bury himself out in California. You know he will.
I don't give a fuck where he buries. I'll find out where he's buried and I'll piss on his fucking grave. Go ahead and arrest me when I turn fucking 50. I don't give a fuck. Fuck.
Now here's the whole thing with this, and it's a quick, my quick 2 cents that I can give into it.
Go ahead.
I've worked sick. I've worked.
Right.
I've worked when I've had the flu. I've worked when I fucking had the common cold. I've worked when fucking I broke my toe. I've worked when fucking injured.
This is not one of those things.
No, this is one of those things where it's...
If you have any one of those things that Mike mentioned and Corona's involved, you get Corona on top of what you already have, you could die.
Well, okay, an injury is an injury, but what I'm trying to say is, and you're trying to see where I'm coming from, but you're jumping ahead.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is, working with any type of sickness or injury while it's a physically demanding job, any type of physically demanding job, you should be able to get time off.
Yeah.
It should be paid time off no matter what.
Especially in this line of work.
It's the most important thing ever. These guys should be absolutely getting health coverage from this company. They're not.
Because Vince wants...
I can understand if you want to have somebody go down as an independent contractor, then they should be able to work the times that they want to work. I'm just putting it out.
Well, and now Roman's got heat with Vince. And by the way, and Roman, I respect Roman for walking what he did.
I mean, yeah, it's
and for all the reasons I just mentioned, like his health is a priority. His fucking family's a priority. The fact that he shouldn't have to wrestle in front of no fucking fans, and this easily should have been postponed. That is greatly the main reasons why he probably walked out. I respect Joe Anoa'i 100 more times than I did before, just walking out of this fucking shit show. And that's exactly what it was. It was honestly, a goddamn shit show.
If he's smart, take his career, take all the shit that he has, and go to another company.
I would love to see him in
PW.
Yeah. Fuck working at that company. Because WWE, everybody believes, oh, it's the company you want to work for. It's the big one. It's like, if you have enough money, I'll give an example. Finn Balor, Prince Devitt, absolutely has the ability to just walk out of that company.
He should.
Yeah.
AEW would take him.
The only reason he did that, by the way, was because they offered him a deal in NXT for main roster money. That's the only reason why he hasn't left yet.
And that's
so he can have creative freedom. So you're telling me that you can, if you go to NXT, you can have creative freedom and we'll let you stay and we'll give you the pay that you were making. So basically what you're saying is you don't want to work on Raw and SmackDown. So just send him over to NXT. And they tried to do the same thing with Matt Hardy. And he was like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that. And now the Revival did the same thing. And I guarantee you they offered them an NXT deal. And they were like, no.
Now they're gone.
And that was another thing, too. I can't wait to see them in AEW, but I digress. My main point of this, and I think we're pretty much on an hour on this, but this is going to be a long topic anyway. The fact that WrestleMania happened around this time at all is fucking disgraceful to the wrestlers, to the fans that paid tickets at all, that wanted to go there, that paid hotel accommodations. It was shitty all around for health-wise and like even financial-wise for everyone involved, for the fans, for the wrestlers, importantly. This was fucking shit. This was an absolute shit show, and it never should have went on the way it did. You had June. You could have postponed it. Vince didn't want to because he wanted this insurance money, and that's all he gives a fuck about at the end of the day. And anybody that wants to tell me he fucking cares, you can get the fuck off my channel now. Because I will not fucking believe you. Go ahead and dislike the fucking video and see if I give a shit. I don't care. If that's truly what you think, if you truly think Vince McMahon cares, looking at you, Chris Dodd, looking at you, if you really think that Vince McMahon cares, dislike the video and tell me how wrong I am in the comments. I most likely won't read it and not give a shit. Because I will not fucking believe it.
Listen, no, as I've said, no athlete should have to work fucking injured, hurt, or with medical problems. I'm sorry. It shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed. Like, the Punk shoot situation with how much Vince's ass was ripped open and everybody got to see how much shit is in it because of that? No way. I'm sorry. After all that, it should have been game over. It should have been.
It should have been, yeah.
Thoughts, Nikos, on your end before we wrap this topic up?
I mean, they really should have postponed this. I mean, I see no reason why they had to continue this into April. I mean, they could have just waited until maybe after June, maybe until when this whole thing dies down. But again, money talks. And Vince the minute he knows that he thinks it's going to sell only because it's a tradition that they have to set up the WrestleMania in April and not push it to any other day, it just disrupts the order that he's built for any of these pay-per-views. And with WrestleMania being hallmarked only in April, and he needs to push it to April, he can't postpone to any other day. It just shows he only cares about the money. He does not care about the fans nor the welfare of his employees.
Financially or health-wise.
And all the employees who work under that man, dude, look in the mirror and decide, is this worth it? Frankly, it's not. If it concerns your health, it's not. Leave if you have to.
If I was to, dude, if I can understand from the perspective of being the athlete, it's like, dude, I just got to make the money, okay? I just got to keep doing what I'm doing and make the money, and not worry about shit later. I'll worry about all that shit later when I'm dead. But the problem does come in when you got to put it in perspective of being the person that works the WWE shift.
Like, these athletes
James, you have the
as
statistics
slaves for this man. They should have the freedom to do what they want.
Agreed.
Where they go for it.
And James, you had the statistics on this a while ago, and I don't know if you still have them now.
What?
How often does a wrestler's fucking life get destroyed because of the fact that they can't get time off?
Oh my god, fucking ridiculous. I mean, granted, WWE is somewhat lessened their schedule because of the brand split, but it's not even enough.
It's still the fact that, let's put it like this. Let's say you're your John Cena, right? You're John Cena before they did the brand split and did all the brand split stuff. You're flying from stadium, hotel, staying in the hotel for a couple days, back on plane, flying to the next hotel, and you're doing that for 52 weeks a year between two shows.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck that, I would have quit. I would have quit day one. I would have been like, I'm not doing this anymore. Unless the money I'm making is like my eyeballs could explode out of my brain. That's how much it is.
Well, the problem is it was until this year.
Uh-huh.
And this year, like, I guarantee you the WrestleMania pay is going to be significantly less than it was last year because there's not merch. There's no merch to be sold. There's no audience ticket sales, nothing. It's just strictly off of whoever viewed it on the network.
Oh,
and whoever the small pittance of people that still pay on pay-per-view.
By the way, before I completely forget, this is an important one. To the individual that happens to be out there and goes, you guys are kind of talking out of your ass a little bit here. You don't really know everything that's going. Listen, this is a podcast that's made specifically for entertainment primarily. If you have a problem with that, that's fine. But I want to say this because it's important.
Doesn't mean we don't have to worry. Even if we don't know all the situation, that we know enough to know that this event never should have happened.
Agreed. Now, I've been a fan of wrestling since ECW came around way back in the day. James has been a fan of the Fed, and I know Nikos has as well.
Yes.
But the problem does come in when neglect, negligence, and stupidity roll up into one ball, and you get these moronic ideas. Oh, we should host this huge event and get all these people to do what they got to do. And you get to that end result of, why am I doing this every week? Why would I want to do this in front of a crowd that I hate? I mean, look at Ronda right now. She fucking hates working there. She hates WWE fans. And I can understand where she's coming from.
100%.
You're talking about
where she's coming from. A lot of people were surprised, but I do.
You're talking about some of the most asinine and ridiculous fucking overreaction to the stupidest little things in the world. I can understand if it was like, I think that this person should have got a title shot.
I want to point this out. I actually shit on Ronda, but the character, because of her breaking kayfabe and all that shit. I've always had problems with that. I've always had problems with that. But I've never shit on Ronda. I've been the biggest Ronda supporter since day one. When she first showed up to WWE and when her last show was at Mania 35. Always supported it. picked the sport up like that. Easily could have continued if she wanted to. But clearly she doesn't because fucking fans are ridiculous, dude. You are.
I've never seen a face get so much hate like this before. It's ridiculous.
You should have saw Roman Reigns.
Oh, Roman, that's another story.
Roman got fucked. Roman was put in probably the worst, physical location.
Fans was in between. Fire Roman, they should have fucking asked for Vince to retire, but they cheered Vince and booed Roman. It to this day, a majority of it makes no sense. WWE fans make no fucking sense. They're not consistent. There are a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them. So anybody that wants to run down or other shows that I've done, do not take what I'm saying like I'm a personal attack at you. I'm not at all. What I'm saying is most wrestling fans or most WWE fans are ridiculous and they're never consistent with their arguments.
Agreed.
All-star. And that's basically what Ronda's saying. So she's like, why should I fucking give a fuck when I know that I could be a better mom and be appreciated for those efforts instead of not appreciated for, at fucking in front of ungrateful fans. And a lot of them are ungrateful.
Listen, this is like the thing that you and I used to talk about all the time, James. And this is the big one. Mm-hmm. Unless you can physically do the actions that wrestler can do in the ring, you have no right to bitch, moan, and complain.
Creative, different story.
Creative, absolutely. But when an athlete gets in the ring and is playing a character, you can't get pissed off at them for the fact of, hey, they're not doing super well. I don't like where this is going. They don't have a fun move set. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah, for the record, that's not to say wrestlers cannot be subjective to criticism. Rollins should be shit on for shit he said, but never for what he does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, the guy tries, that's all you can do, right? And you gotta respect that at the end of the day. But as far as defending WWE creative when they're absolutely dog shit, and, I understand where Ronda's coming from. I really do. It's like they took their anger out on the wrong fucking people. She did the same thing with fucking UFC fans. She feels the same fucking way here, by the way. And a lot of people are like, oh, she can't take criticism. No, it's because you're directing your fucking criticism to the wrong people. She had the same fucking reaction when her fucking idiot trainer, said, bigged her up and is like, oh, she's one of the greatest boxer, even though there was clear holes in her knockout game. It was the same with Mike Tyson. He wasn't a fucking technical fighter, but he just had ridiculous punching power. It was the same with Ronda Rousey.
Except here's the major difference between, and I'll discuss that really quick. Here's the difference between Ronda Rousey in the ring and Tyson in the ring. Tyson, you could never get a hand on if you were anybody but Holyfield.
Right.
Yeah. Name one fucking person that could get a glove on Tyson. It's very rare. It's rarer than having fucking rain happen in Africa. It is fucking ridiculous.
But there's a lot of but it's not boxing, and that's the thing.
It's not boxing. It's completely
not boxing.
Different.
That's why Holly Holm knocked Ronda out, because she was bigged up by her idiot fucking trainer, who, by the way, should have been blackballed for years. That's just one of the idiot things that he's done when he was in the UFC. This guy never should have trained again. Ever. Like, he should have been blackballed immediately after that. Like, her strength, and she knew her strength. She played up that strength to fucking, what was this? A Sumbo, right? Or what was it? What was the fucking thing? Fuck, I don't remember.
Sambo.
Is it Sumbo? Sambo.
She's a Sambo expert.
Sambo champion. She was a fucking Olympian for that. So that was her strength. And she used that in WWE. She used a lot of Sambo shit. Barely used her striking prowess because she knew that wasn't what I had. You know what I mean?
How many fucking Ronda Rousey fights end in submission specifically? A lot of them. A whole fucking shitload of them. She's a submissions expert. And I respect that because it is a hard thing.
Yes.
It is a fucking hard game to play. To be a very good submission.
I guess the point of this is not all fans are ungrateful. I'm grateful for,
but the ones that are need to really fuck off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can understand if you're pissed off because it's like the company's doing bullshit. This is complete horse shit. But the athletes do not deserve the amount of criticism that they're getting week in, week out because you're upset because you're sitting on the couch at 4 o'clock in the morning watching fucking wrestling and you haven't been able to move your toes in 4.5 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Get on a treadmill. It's not that hard. If I can do an hour and a half of yard work and I feel okay, then you can get on a treadmill and stop bitching about the world and saying that everybody's against you. For fuck's sake.
It was dumb. At the end of the day, anybody that was there at WrestleMania and wrestled, while I didn't agree with the creative and I don't agree with the event happening at all, I appreciate the fact that you guys even showed up at all to try to.
I would have left.
So
I would have fucking left if you told me that, hey Mike, you got a boxing match coming up this week. You're going to be going up against this guy. I would have been like, fuck that. Nope, not happening.
No.
Fuck that.
Just
I'm
leave.
not doing it. I would have quit. I would have said, go fuck yourself. We're no longer friends. Game over. I'm done.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't run your life. So at the end of the day, we're going to stop talking about this. Thank you to all the wrestlers that still wrestled when they really didn't have to.
You tried putting on a show, but it was just...
It was a wrong time for this.
It was a wrong time, and it's not.
I hope you guys are serious about the strike, man. Go for it. I fully support it.